right, the AFC West control has been seized not by the Broncos, not by the Chiefs, but by the Los Angeles Chargers. And this was another one down to the wire, back and forth. It looked like the Chargers were going to have the better part of the day. And then the Broncos come back, and they had opportunities to deliver the knockout punch, and they didn't. And they left the door open for the Chargers. And it's another, for the second straight week for the Broncos, a walk-off field goal.
Oh, it's rough.
To beat the Broncos and drop them to 1-2. They could be 3-0. They're 1-2. And the Chargers are 3-0 for the first time since 2002, and they're the first team to start the season with 3 straight wins in the division since the 2006 Bears, who made it to the Super Bowl. That's a highly specific stat, and you have no control over it because it's tied to your schedule. But still, to go through a tour of the AFC West and knock off each one of them to start the season, that's a good way to get it rolling.
They're here. They had that mojo, what we talked about in the Hall of Fame game. I felt it. I mean, they had a belief that they were a team that was real in the AFC. I sat here all offseason going, this is the year the Chiefs' run ends in the AFC West. The Broncos are going to do it. It looks like maybe the Chargers are going to do it. I'm not giving up on the Broncos. The Broncos are still a good team. That's the classic case there of, man, you know, you got to win the games you were supposed to win, and you blew that one in Indianapolis, and now instead of sitting there 3-0 or at least 2-1, you're 1-2, and I think they're a better football team than that. But as we said to start the show, Justin Herbert is playing as good as I've ever seen him play. Him, Greg Roman, who's taken a lot of criticism because it's like, hey, they can't ever throw the ball. He never opens up the offense that way. It's always about the running game. I've been impressed with what they're doing in the past game. And the receivers look like they're real. They're going to be around all year. Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey. I mean, they got a little something there and a few other young guys to round out the group. So you like that. You know they're going to be able to run the ball. Omarion Hampton looked good yesterday. Right? That was a tough team. The Broncos defense is still really, really awesome. They are. But the Chargers are playing at a high level right now. And Herbert, like we talked a lot in the offseason, imposing your will, making plays outside the realm of the playbook. I'm seeing that more from Justin Herbert right now than ever before. Like the last touchdown that made it 2020, running out of the pocket to the left, hits Keenan Allen on the run, difficult throw. He's doing more of that. And that, to me, is what makes Lamar and Mahomes and Josh Allen so good, is because you go, wait, our defense was perfect. We played them awesome. What? Those guys still got a 20-yard gain on this one? And we're starting to see that with Justin Herbert. And if he continues that, the Chargers are going to be tough to beat.
Hey, the reality is that Jim Harbaugh has worked hard to bring the badass out.
He had.
And
you saw him yelling and getting pissed off a little yesterday?
Did you notice last Monday night when Justin Herbert was walking in, he was doing the middle finger flash to the cameras, and he was just hanging that, just swinging.
I did not see that.
Yeah, he's your new favorite quarterback now.
Yeah, I like that.
Just like his favorite. Does that make Joey Harrington by default your favorite quarterback? Because Harrington was Herbert's. Now Herbert's is yours, so Joey Harrington.
No, I've never seen Joey swear or give a middle finger, so I can't jump on that bandwagon.
But this is what Jim Harbaugh's been trying to do, and you got to pull it out of him, and you're trying to push him to a higher ceiling. That's the difference between Justin Herbert and Tua, folks. I'm sorry. Don't mean for Tua to catch a stray today, but Justin Herbert's got more to be pulled out of his overall abilities. Tua has maxed out from a talent standpoint. There's a higher ceiling still out there for Herbert, and Jim Harbaugh is determined to get him there. You mentioned Omarion Hampton. He had a rough game last Monday night, had a fumble. We see a lot more Najee Harris late in the game.
Yeah.
Harris blows out the Achilles yesterday. That's that injury that can happen anytime, any place. He's played a lot of football, 4 straight seasons with more than 1,000 yards in Pittsburgh. Signed with a free agent, had the fireworks mishap 4th of July. That hovered over his availability. Ultimately, he was ready to go week 1, and I thought we're going to start seeing more of this guy because Hampton wasn't getting it done. Well, Harris goes out, and all of a sudden, Hampton's the guy, and he played better than he had all year. So that's encouraging for the Chargers as well.
Yeah, no, it is. I think Omarion Hampton has that type of talent. We heard that from people on the field in the Hall of Fame game with the Chargers. They were pumped about what he brings to the table. He's young. He's still learning things. But now, he doesn't have that luxury anymore. He's going to have to be the bell cow and play big boy football and grow up and be a professional for that football team.
Well, I think there's a freedom in no longer not knowing where you fit.
I hear that too.
You know, like they drafted me in round 1, but here's this guy Najee Harris, who's a pretty good player.
Right.
And he was a star at Alabama. He's got 4,000-yard seasons. He's the guy they brought in as a free agent. Are we sharing duties here? Is he number one? Like, how's this going to work? I don't feel comfortable in this. All of a sudden, he's gone, and it's like, whoop, all right, I can go do my thing.
Right. No, I think there is. I think you're true there in that sentiment. I was in those elements before too with other quarterbacks where you go, wait, we're splitting time, we're battling it out, and then wait, that other guy got hurt for a little or hurt his ankle. Thank God, now I don't have to worry about who's going to play or they're gonna pull me if I make a bad decision. Right? There's all those issues. Denver, the defense is really good. I sometimes question if they're a hair too aggressive on that side of the ball, like because they just try to kill and squash everything. And I think at times if you're going to kill and squash everything, you're going to leave some opportunities for quarterbacks like Justin Herbert to make some big plays down the football field. The Broncos offense has yet to function at a level I expected it to. Now, they're down 10-0. They put a drive right before the half, score a touchdown, make it 10-7. They start the third quarter, and J.K. Dobbins breaks a huge run. I think he gets the ball 3 times in a row. It's a 66-yard drive, touchdown. Boom, they're up 14-10. You're like, whoa, they weren't really playing that good. The Chargers seemed in control. Now they're winning. The Chargers fumbled the ensuing kick return. The Broncos get the ball in great field position, do nothing with it, have to settle for a field goal. That makes it 17-10. My point being is just that, with Sean Payton, Bo Nix, we're all excited for what they can do. I don't think Bo Nix has played his best football yet. I don't think Sean Payton's in a groove of, I'm looking at it going, oh, wow, people are open. This is exciting. And they've played some good defenses, don't get me wrong. But like we've said about a number of teams here already, and they're one of these teams right now where I go, they're a playoff caliber team, but who's the other receiver that they're going to be able to depend on a consistent basis other than Courtland Sutton? Right now, to me, that's another issue. Like last week, I know the kid Franklin from Oregon had a moment and did some things here, but they've yet to seem to function at a fully high-flying passing offense yet. It's like we can only get one guy the ball per game and get that going. That's got to change if they want to get where they want to go in Denver.
They had high hopes for Marvin Mims, and he had 1 catch for 4 yards yesterday on 4 targets. That's it.
Right. Franklin only had 2 catches. R.J. Harvey's your second leading receiver with 3 receptions and 14 yards. That's not going to get a ton against the better teams in the AFC. So that's certainly something that's got to be on Sean Payton's radar, is finding another weapon that teams have to worry about. That, okay, you took away our run game or Courtland Sutton, but wait, we still got this guy, and you put too many eggs in that basket, now we're going to screw you over with this other guy. They don't have that right now.
Well, and just look at the passing line for Bo Nix, 14 for 25 for 153 yards. That's not even a half of a Drew Brees performance.
Yeah.
And there was all this expectation that Bo Nix is going to morph into the next Drew Brees. They got a long way to go. And Peyton wrote a big check before the season started talking about how he's had a handful of teams that he felt were Super Bowl worthy, and this is one of them. And they're 1-2 right now. Yeah. They could be 3-0 again. But you shouldn't let it come down to a field goal. That's the thing. You need to be winning these games convincing. That's why, to me, the Colts are the most impressive unbeaten team right now, because they haven't been in a close game.
Right. They're putting them away. You're right about that. We'll see where it goes with the Broncos. I'm certainly not giving up on them. I still think they're really good.
Well, wait, they beat the Broncos. They were in one close game. They beat the Broncos in a close game, but that's a game they shouldn't have won. The other 2 games they won handily.
Right.
Sorry,
but either way, the Broncos, beat the Titans in week 1. You fall into the buzzsaw of the Colts and Lou Anarumo over there and all the new mojo they got going. And the Chargers got some mojo going right now. And to me, you've heard me say this, the Chargers and how they play pass defense, I think it's the best in football. How they pass things off. They have a variety of things they do on the back end. They don't really ever mess up. They're pretty sound while being also pretty creative. And I think that's one of the more exciting things about their team.
I'd said for years that the Chargers are the Rosanna of the NFL, a dated reference, but it's always something. That was her catchphrase.
Yeah,
it's always something. And with the Chargers, it was always something. And now the something is they're the ones winning the games. They're the ones finding the way. They're the ones avoiding the same old stuff. The Chargers chargering.
Yeah.
They haven't done it this year.
Nope.
And they are 3-0. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.